it happens every time. They come back, they're like, all right, Chiffon, you were right. I took that person. They weren't. I'm every time. And it's not because of the person. It's because you decided to take someone who was out of your realm, who was not in your very specific niche that you were working with.
Happy Tuesday, take two. I have no idea what's going on. We were like totally fine, and then all of a sudden, whatever, like Instagram decided to pause me. So I think we're live. I think it's working now. We're gonna try this again and hopefully get Chiffon on. I have no idea what happened. Hey there, Enchanted Cybers. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do this again. Why does it say unable to join? We're gonna try this. Hey Liz. So we're gonna try to get Chiffon on, and I have no idea why. Ah! Yay! Oh my goodness! I was like, why can't I get that? I'm like, I see your face, and it's like, I had no idea if you could hear me. I was like, what's going on?
I was like, oh my gosh, did I push a button or something? Oh my God.
Yeah, I always do stuff like that all the time. Oh my goodness. So good to see your face. Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited.
How are you? And check your earrings. Let me see. Let me see them.
Girl, you know, okay, y'all, I'm really starting to get better. My friends I'm trying to get the camera good. I'm really starting to get better with being on brand's colors. So I know I'm trying, girl, and I got makeup done today. I had several meetings and I have some lives today. I didn't plan it to be all of them kind of like back to back, but I was like, this actually works. I was like, this is perfect that they're kind of like back to back. So, but yes, this is the on brand Chiffon.
I don't think I've ever seen Chiffon not on brand because, it's just, it's all fabulousness all the time. So
Well,
earrings
thank you.
or no earrings, doesn't matter. Hey there,
Thank
Denise. Um, so
Denise
yes,
is fun.
I know.
Just
I love
got off of her. Oh,
Denise.
I
Fantastic.
love it.
So we're going to talk about marketing today. So
Yes.
I think, I was saying, so before when we were like scrambled, and I don't know if anybody even caught it, but I was saying how, marketing is a little challenging right now because now that things are opening up, people are like, ooh, do I go back to the way I used to do things? Should I not do that? Should I do something different? How should I approach and still be sensitive essentially to attracting their ideal clients? So I think like this obviously mistakes can be made at anything, but there's some really common mistakes I think that people make oftentimes when they're kind of like getting back into it. So, I mean, those are things that I think that you can definitely speak to because if anyone knows, it's my girl Chiffon.
Well, and I love that question because it is like, it's almost like that when you are in, and it's like that mad rush. And it's like, I feel like that's kind of where we are, where
Right.
people are like, go all in? Do we kind of pull back? Do we be cognizant of what's going on? And this is when I am 100% going to tell people, do what you feel. If you feel like you were ready to say, you know what, I'm back, I'm ready. The
I got
door's
earrings.
out. And that's okay if you feel that way. And I've had some clients that are like, no, Chiffon, I'm not ready for that yet. And that's fine. But I've had some that are like, no, I'm ready. My state is good. My area is good. I'm ready to move forward. And I think that's definitely going to just be kind of very individualized to each person. Are they ready to move forward? Are they not? But from a customer standpoint, they ready. They're ready for us to show up and start doing, like I said, per what is good for your state, because every state is still kind of different as what's going on. But from the consumer standpoint, our couples are ready. Like
Yeah.
they're ready to start being served and to see who's ready to help them and to see who's ready to kind of embark on the journey with them as a client. So it definitely can be however you feel because I'm telling you, they're ready. I'm seeing the messages. I'm seeing the comments. I'm seeing the couples that are ready to start planning. So they're out there.
That's so good. And I think that's part of it. Sometimes I think people are like, well, are they ready? Are they not? Is being insensitive, or, am I totally, inappropriate by trying
Yeah.
to market to them? And I mean, and it goes back to so many things. I mean, obviously with everything that just happened in Minnesota again, it's like,
Yes.
what is this? Is this the time? Do I say any, like, do I just post pretty pictures? Do I not? And so I think, what you were saying is, do what's true to you first and foremost. Like, you have to be authentic, because that's the one thing, like Gen Z and millennials, like, they can smell that.
We've
Right?
talked about that.
We've talked about this before. It's like,
They know. They're like, that's not it. She didn't say the right thing. And truthfully, I tell people, you saying the right thing and how you feel is not going to be the right thing for everyone.
yeah.
But your person, they're going to be like, that's my people.
Right.
That's my person. Because they're going to resonate with that. And I just always have to tell people, you don't want everyone to like you. And I tell people, if everyone is liking you right now, you're not going deep enough. You're not niche down enough. You're not specific enough, because you should have some people that are being triggered or not like it, or, oh, I don't like that aesthetic. I don't like how that looks, because that's the whole part of it. You don't want to be pleasing everyone. You don't want to please. And that's actually one of my things. Like, you don't want to market to everyone. That's not the name of the game right now. The name of the game is specificity and getting very specific in your person, because that's where the money is. That's where you can unequivocally say, this is my person and they will pay me.
Right. Right. And being okay with the fact that not everyone is that. Like, saying no to and I think that's one thing too, that everyone now, especially, they're coming out of, like, okay, we can actually work. This is great. But I need money. I don't want to say no to anyone. And I think that's another part of, like, what they're feeling right now is like, okay, well, how do I market to just my people? And yet if someone comes to me and says, like, hey, I'm interested, like, I don't want to say no. I don't want to leave money on the table. What would you say to them?
That's a good, I love how you always say it. I'm just like, yes. This is the part I tell people, and this goes back to even me with Pretty Pair Bride. What I do, and I've been told now, I'm doing a chat later on today, what I say for body image and your wedding day and feeling beautiful is not just conducive to plus size brides. It could be for everyone. But the thing that we have to realize, the way I say it, what I talk about my experiences, is going to resonate with a plus size bride so much more. And that who is without a doubt going to pay me to do something is going to get whatever offer, get whatever I put on the table, because I'm speaking to them. Yes, I could speak to all brides, but do you want to know how much harder, how much noise I'm going to have to get through to say what I say to all brides, as opposed to me niching down and getting specific and saying, hey, I know this is something that all brides deal with, but my loves, my girls, my plus size brides, I can speak directly to them and they feel heard. That's the part that people don't understand when you are scared. And I say niche down or get specific. Don't be scared. Get ready for that money. Because when you get specific, I don't have to feel like I'm talking to everyone. I am talking to a very specific person, and I can hone in on what their thoughts are, what their fears are. I don't have to say they. Hey, I know y'all get me. I know you get me, because I'm speaking to a very specific person. And that's the beauty when you can do that in your marketing. It makes selling easier. It makes marketing easier. You don't have to feel like, okay, I got to talk to this person. I got to talk to this type. Oh, what if it's this type of bride? What if it's this type of bride? Nah, boo, I just talk to plus size brides. That's my girl. She knows what's going on. That's all that matters. So that's where that beauty is.
That's so good. That's so good. And I mean, I had a conversation earlier this week with someone I was coaching, and she was like, well, I don't want to, same thing. Like, I don't want to leave money on the table. If someone asks me to do this, I'm going to do it. She's a florist. She's like, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will say this, that you are not going to be A, fulfilled, and B, if you're posting photos that are, Opulent Soiree says, I love this. If you're posting photos that speak to different people, you know, at that point, you are confusing your messaging. You're turning off the people that you want to turn on, and you're probably turning off the people that you don't want. Like,
yeah,
you know, because they're seeing both of it. They're like, wait, Walmart and Chanel?
Oh, shoot. No, you ain't going to Vegas. Oh, wow.
They're like, listen, I got nothing against Walmart. I got nothing. Like, I got nothing against either. But I'm saying that those very specific, totally different.
Two totally different. And truthfully, and I mean, I literally just want to say, when you look at those two people, everything about them is different. So you're now having to tailor your messaging to be like, hey, I'm talking to you over there, boo, who wears a Chanel, but then I'm also talking to you over here who does something different. It is very confusing. And then let me tell you what ends up happening every single time. You get the client that you're like, oh, I'm just going to get her because, or him or whoever. I'm just going to get them because I need the money. Every single time you're mad. Why did I take this person? I knew I shouldn't have taken this person. This is not the person who I want to work with. They typically end up being not purposely a headache, but because they're not.
Right.
Yes, that is my favorite line. If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to no one because no one hears you. You are talking to a sea of people. You were literally talking to a sea of people when you lump everyone together. But it happens every time. They come back, they're like, all right, Chiffon, you were right. I took that person. They weren't. Every time. And it's not because of the person. It's because you decided to take someone who was out of your realm, who was not in your very specific niche that you were working with. And I'm telling you, Megan, it never fails. And they're like, I won't do it again. And I was like, I told you so. I was like,
I love it. I love it. But it's so true because it's like, oh, like I need clients, I need money. And, you know, especially if you're starting out, if you're just starting out and you don't know who your ideal client is, you have no experience. I am not going to say just like sit there and like create something that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Right. Because whenever you ask someone that, the first thing they say, well, they're going to have a big budget. They're going to have lots of money. They're going to give me whatever I want. Let me do whatever I want with their money. That's not how it works. So if you don't know how it works because of experience, that's going to be much harder for you to understand who your ideal client is. And then you're not really able to market to them. And
no, and I think it's interesting how you talked about people that are just starting out. I think the beauty of just starting out is, and literally this is how I relate to dating. Now, granted, I've been married 20 some years. I think I might have got that wrong, but that's okay.
I'm not going to tell him.
But I'm going to relate it to dating. When you are starting out and just dating someone, you need to date and meet multiple people so that you can figure out, ooh, that I do not want. Oh, I really like that. That I need to have more of. That's how you relate it to. When you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out who your person is, you need to be looking at all of them. You need to work with all of them so that you can, from that, create your ideal client, create your ideal person so that moving forward, after that research stage, after that dating stage, you realize, okay, this is the type of person I want. This is the type of person I don't want to work with and why, so that you can create this person. Oh, yeah. And that's the beauty of starting out. You can do that. Then the more experience you get, you start knowing, okay, this is my person, that's not my person. And you can a mile away and you're like, I am booked on that day.
I love it. And it's so true. Because like once you know, like there's no going back. At that point, it's like, no. Definitely no. For sure.
No.
For sure. So when you're helping people figure out what they should be saying or photos they're choosing to really speak to their ideal client, if their ideal client is not them and they're not as familiar with that kind of narrative, that voice of how they should be or who they should be or what they really like, because maybe they had some clients they really liked, and they can think of some things about them, but they're trying to like piece together like some of the commonalities, and not everything's like, oh, I'm not really sure. You know, what would you say is as far as how they should kind of do that research to figure out like, okay, this is the right voice to have, or these are the right types of captions, or these are the right types of photos, or kind of, you know, color scheme and palettes, and really kind of understanding those things about their client?
I think when you're looking at your client, and I think it kind of even talks about one of the things that I have written down is, and this is one of my huge things that I'm always telling people, no one wants to buy whatever your service is. I just want to put it out there. No one cares about your course. No one cares about whatever product. No one cares about, like, they don't care. All they care about is what that product, service, cool, whatever will do for them. Meaning, I need you to think about, people are always trying to sell this when really I want you to be selling what the result of this is going to give you. I want you to sell the outcome. That's the type of stuff that you're talking about in your captions. Once you realize, okay, this person, and I say it all the time, specifically when I'm talking to wedding people. All right, Chiffon, I'm selling my wedding planning services. Great. What are your wedding planning services going to do for your client? Oh, I mean, they're getting me and my. Once again, what is that going to do for them? You have to think about what is the outcome that they're going to get of your wedding planning services. They're going to have the freedom to actually enjoy their wedding. That's a great one. Great. What is that freedom going to give them so that they can be at the wedding enjoying themselves? It's actually going to really make them happy. Like, it's really, and I'm like, great. This is the type of stuff that I think we don't do, especially in the wedding industry. You cannot just say that I'm a wedding planner and these are my services. You have to, in your captions and what you're sharing in emails and what you're sharing in news or any copy, you have to get down to the nuts and bolts of what is the outcome, the transformation, and the result your person is going to get from working with you. That's what you talk about. That's what you look at. And then you relate that to the pain that they're in, to what their fears are, because this is the part of it. People buy on emotion, and then they back that up with all the logic behind it. And that's what you have to think about. And I find a lot of times when I work with people is that they're like, wow, I just thought I really had to talk about the pretty picture. I'm like, no one cares about the pretty picture. I mean, they do not get me wrong. They do. But they care about how that pretty picture relates to them and what they want and need. And that's exactly what it is. So that's what you're thinking about in your captions and what you're sharing. How does what you do relate to the outcome that they want? And that's going to take you thinking about that. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, it's not just about me being a planner or a DJ. Like, what does that DJing do for them? Like, what does it help them do? What does it give to them? That my guests had an amazing time at a party. Like, then that's the kind of stuff that you sell. You're not just selling, I can mix some real cool. You were selling, what are they getting when you were mixing? I've been to weddings where I was like, oh my God, that DJ was so good. Not just because of the songs he played, but how he made me feel on the dance floor. How he made me feel at that event. That is what you sell. You sell that feeling. You sell that outcome. That's what I think people don't realize.
I think that's gold, because understanding that what you're selling isn't the product or service that you're actually selling, but the result, right? Like that feeling, the lifestyle, the time that they get back, you know, all things are what you need to really kind of bring to the forefront. If you don't know who your ideal client is and you don't understand what their pain points are, you can't sell to that. You because you don't know what you're giving them. You're just like, I'm a planner, or I'm just a photographer. I give them photos. I give them, you know, I plan their wedding, or I give them options. Like, that's not the same thing, because that does not differentiate you.
And I think
and it certainly doesn't help someone choose you.
No, that's the part, like you say, it doesn't differentiate me. Then that means that I am now swimming in a sea of all the other DJs, floors, wedding planners that are out here. You can rise to the top once you start realizing, okay, what are the pain points? What are the fears? What are the struggles? What are they actually looking for as an outcome? That's when you can rise to the top and you stop making it about you. Look at my pretty picture. Look at my pretty florals. And you start being like, hey, if you are whatever this type of bride and you've been struggling with finding someone that gets your vision, that sees you, that wants to create an amazing floral arrangement for your event that speaks to your guests and makes them feel like they've stepped into an enchanted forest, that is totally different than, hey, look at my pretty florals that I have on here and check out my Instagram. Like, it's a difference. Which one do you think that I'm going to be like, oh, shoot, I'm about to call her? Definitely
Right.
look at my pretty florals. It's truly about realizing that your clients are thinking, like, they're thinking very selfishly, and that's okay. Like, I want everyone to realize that I want it to be off of you when you're marketing. It's not about you. It's about your client. And I want you to think about every time, what does my client want? What do they want? What do they like? You have to be thinking in your caption, am I speaking to them? Am I touching on what they want? Am I touching on those emotions? You have to take it out of you. It's all about them. All about them.
So important. And if you don't know who they are, that's where you take that time and figure that out. Because otherwise, like we said before, you're not speaking to anyone. You're just like adding to the noise that's out there that is drowning you out.
Yes, I'm adding to the noise that is Megan. That was good. That was good.
I love it. I love it. So what are some of the other mistakes that you see people making? I know that you work with a lot of different people, and so you see a plethora of.
We've talked about two. The no one wants your service. They actually want the outcome of the transformation. That is one. Then we talked about marketing to everyone, get very specific and niche down. I think one that I see a lot of times, people will show up as who they are right now. So, example, look, Chiffon, I don't know how to market. I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to do anything. That is how you are showing up. Mm. You don't realize that when you get into a certain space of mindset and worthiness and realize that I actually need to be showing up as the person that I want to be. So when I'm writing down my goals and my dreams and who I truly want to be, okay, for me, I'm trying to be a mix of Beyonce and Oprah all over the world, helping women make money and empower people doing it. You know who I show up as every single day? As that person.
Queen B.
Yes.
Queen S.
Yes.
Queen S.
As that person. I don't show up as the person that I might have been who was like, dude, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I can't see how I'm going to do this. Because if you show up as that type of person, then no one is going to pay attention to you. They're not going to gravitate to you. They're not going to want to work with you. We all know everybody trying to get to be beside Beyonce or Oprah. Let someone come on here and be like, y'all, Beyonce and Oprah, you can just go have dinner with them. You can just go have lunch with them. Oh my gosh, I'm running to them because of who they are, how they show up, what they do. So I just see a lot of people showing up as the person who they are right now, not of the person they actually want to be in the future. Don't wait till the future. Start showing up as that person right now. And I'm telling you, your captions will change, your marketing will change, your sales will change because you are showing up as your future version of yourself. Make decisions from that place. That's how you really need to think about it. And I see it so often, specifically in marketing and sales. People are like, oh no, I can't do that. Okay, what would your seven-figure whatever do right now? What would the seven-figure Chiffon do? She wouldn't even sit here worried about this. She would be saying, oh my gosh, I need to get on that stage and make some money and do what I got to do. That's how you have to really think about it when you're looking at marketing. And that's a mistake people don't do. They do not do that a lot.
And I think sometimes it comes out of, whether it's fear, imposter syndrome, I mean, a myriad of different things. And also sometimes they feel inauthentic
Yeah.
when they're doing that. But I always say it's important to remember that your ideal clients aren't looking at one post,
Mm.
looking at one story and saying, "Ooh, yes, now I'm going to buy." They're going to see one thing and maybe go to your feed and look at the rest.
Yep.
They might see 2 things, 3 things, 10 things, but that messaging has to be consistent because they're not going to purchase right away. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to purchase right away. So if you're not giving them consistent messaging along the way, by the time that they are ready to purchase, they're like, "I don't know who you are. You don't sound like you know what you're doing. I'm going to go with someone else."
Oh my
Instead of,
God.
"Oh, I heard it every time. And now I get to see it and feel it." And, you know, all of the things that you're selling, they get that and,
Mhm.
and they're ready.
And I think it's very important for people to realize that, just as you said, 9 times out of 10, people have been watching you. They've been watching, how do you show up? How do you talk? How are your posts? Because they're watching you to see if, and I knew we've talked about this when I've done some of the bridal master classes. The way that they come to you is literally they come to you from afar. So when I was always on the stage, I'd be like, okay, they're sitting over there, and they might see 1 or 2 posts, and they're like, oh, she seems cool. Okay. Then they come in a little bit closer. They might like you so that they can get notifications. And then they see you a little bit more. They see what you do. They see how you show up. They might see you over in this summit talking, or see you over in this virtual area, see you talking. So then they come in closer. Oh, I'm actually going to make a conscious effort to go and look at her stories more. It's like each time, the longer they're with you, the closer they get to you. So then by the end, they have raised their hand and say, yes, I want to work with you. That didn't start off in the beginning. In the beginning, they were way back here, just kind of seeing your feeds on like seeing your stories, posts, whatever. But they moved in closer and got to know you, got to see who you are, got to see what you did. So then by the time they were ready, because they're typically not ready immediately.
Right.
They're going to watch you. They're going to see what you do, what content you create, where do they see you out. That's when they come in closer, and then they'll raise their hand. But you have to create that content that allows them to come closer. And that's the part of it, is that you have to really embody the person you want to be so that you can be that now to start bringing in all that stuff. Don't wait till you get to, let's say, 7 figures or 6 figures, or for me to become this Beyonce, Oprah infusion that is all over the world. I'm trying to be her now so that I can get there. I don't wait then. I'm trying to be her now. That's how I show up, because that's what I want to be. You always start acting now how you want to be.
I love that. That's so true. And you are. Oh my goodness. If I had to put 2 people together to like make chiffon, it would definitely be Beyonce and Oprah, and like,
yes,
and then
and it's a chiffon. That's what the name is. Chiffon.
that's what I would say. I'd be like, when you put them together, you get chiffon. Because that's, yes. But those are the things, I mean, and understanding that where you want to be or who you want to be or what it is that you want to portray or exude, like think of, and I love that, think of who it is that you want to emulate. Who is it that you want to be like? And what are those qualities? What are the qualities about them that you love? Because those are going to be the things that you're infusing, not that person, but the quality.
Because I do with a lot of my clients, when we first come in, I'll be like, okay, great, here we go. I was like, all right, I want you to write down your top 5 people that you follow their content, you look at their content, you look to see what they do, and I want you to write them down. Great. Okay, so why do you go to that person? Never is it they have amazing content. Like, they have amazing, oh my gosh, I saw this how-to video, or I saw, like, it's always, I just like the way they, how charismatic they are, how bold they are. They just are like, they have a no bars attitude. It's always about them as a person, how they show up. Not necessarily about the content. It's not even about, it's how you are as a person. That's what brings people into you. And that's very evident to people. People see that, even
Right.
through what you do. And it's so interesting. They're like, wow. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's really not about the content all the time. I mean, it is, But it's not sometimes. It's about you as a person and how you show up. And that's the part that people don't understand with, especially marketing and sales. It really is about how you as a person show up, because the content, yes, they get drawn in by that, but if they stay by how you are.
Right. Because if they don't feel like they can trust you, love you, be your friend, right? It's hard for them to then be like, yes, I want to slap down this X amount of money and feel confident with my decision. Because again, it's not about the product or service. It's about, do they feel heard? Do they feel like you get them? And then in the way you're delivering it, is that something that's like, this is my person. Like, not everyone who loves Oprah or Beyonce is like, I want to be like Oprah and Beyonce, but they gravitate towards them for a reason.
Yes, because of certain characteristics and things that they themselves embody. Those people embody certain characters that draw you in. That's right. What I think a lot of people don't realize, especially when it comes to marketing and then into sales, that it truly is about you as a person. I tell people all the time, people don't buy a product, they buy the person that is behind that product. They buy the person that they are showing up for that product. I mean, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on any coach or any program if I do not connect with that person. And I want everyone to feel the same way about their products, about their services. They are connecting with you as a person, not just that service. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. And then they also get a lot of people that they don't resonate with, because they're like, see me? Like, we don't mesh at all. You did you show up to allow them to mess with you? Like,
exactly.
I did, Chiffon. I'm like, oh, I know what you did. You didn't show up. That's what happened.
I love it. I love it. And then what would you say for people who are, I mean, they're okay, they're like, I just have to do it then. Like, what are the things that they should be conscious of as they're showing up? Like, what are some of those things that they need to be like, okay, so I'm going to be showing up this way or not this way?
You came to Southern California. Girl, where you at?
Oh, honey, if I'm in Southern California, we're going to be like on it together. Like, oh my goodness.
Really, the next thing I have is just about showing up and not confidently asking for the sale. And this is the way that I see this. If you cannot show up and ask for the sale, then you cannot be complaining about not getting the sale. And I say it all the time, because they're like, Chiffon, my sales are down. I'm not getting the sales I want. Great. I want you to show me every place that you showed up as. And I also want to be clear. Showing up looks very different for different people. And I'm all about the journey. Showing up can be not just putting, hey, look at my pretty picture caption. Showing up can be infusing yourself into the caption, infusing yourself into the feed. That is showing up. Asking someone to take a call to action on a caption, not just putting something like there's different degrees. It doesn't have to mean I'm going live every day, I'm going on video, I'm doing all kinds of stories. That doesn't have to be showing up unless you want it to be. When I say showing up and confidently asking for the sale, I mean asking for the sale. Because a lot of times people don't feel that they have to ask. Oh, they see my number over there. They see my page. They see my buy now button. Chiffon, they're just going to come. Oh, okay. Let's wait and you tell me how that's going for you. And, oh, Chiffon, no one came. Yeah, because you didn't tell them to. You didn't ask them to. People like to be told what to do, and that's just our nature. We want to be told, how do I work with you? You need to tell someone, if you want them to click the button and set up a consultation, you need to tell them, click the button and set up a consultation. But you have to be able to do that confidently. And that takes going back to what I talked about. You need to show up as your future self. And I do a lot of work before we get down to a marketing plan, before we get down to a sales strategy. We look at yourself. Because a lot of times I have people like, oh, I can't do that, Chiffon. Oh, that's cool. You don't have to do it, but I'm not sure how you're going to get your sales. So because you have to be able to show up as the person who's confidently showing. And I think I say that a lot, because you can show up, but I want you to show up confidently, meaning you know what your offer is. You know what your value, I'm saying it loud for all the people in the back, you value is. There's no way that if you do not value yourself as a person, how can you expect someone else to value you? And that's a huge part of what I work on before we even get into any of that stuff. Yes, amen, you know what I'm talking about. Because it's like there's no way that someone's going to happily give you over money, happily have you work with them if they don't feel confident in you as a person. And that is just human nature. That's why you always see the people like, dang, they always get the people. They always, no, they're getting it because they are showing up confidently asking for that sale. If you choose not to ask for it, that's on you. They're going to ask because they realize. And I think that is the biggest piece of marketing and sales, is showing up and knowing how to show up. And that starts with really working on yourself a lot of times. And it's a lot around worthiness. People also, they don't show up a lot and do things and ask themselves because they don't feel worthy of asking for the sale. That goes back to value. Everyone is valuable and brings a value to what they do in their business. You just have to believe that.
Right. And you have to know that what you are bringing, your product or service, is actually providing a solution to the pain of your ideal client. You can't just be like, so this is how much I'm worth, because I truly believe that I'm worth this much. And this is how much you're going to have to pay for me. And I'm going to ask you to pay that. And they're like, yeah, well, I don't need what you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's great.
Such a good point, because I'm always, and this is one of the things that I say over and over and over, I need you to sell them what they want, give them what they need. And I want you all to listen. Sell them what they want, give them what they need. If I have two situations, okay, dude, I know they need this. Like, they need this so bad. And I put it in front of them and they're like, why didn't it sell? Like, I know they need this. Like, they need this. Because they don't know they need this. They just want this. So what you have to do is you have to say, here you go, because this is exactly what you want. I know you want this. When I'm working with you, all of these things that, prime example, I just said it. No one is going to be like, Chiffon, I do not value myself. I do not value myself. I do not work. No one is going to say that. And if you are, send me a DM, we can talk. But most people do not say that. They are saying, Chiffon, I'm not marketing myself I need to. I'm not showing up like I need to. I'm not getting the sales. Most often it's the sales. That's why that's the part that I'm always talking about, because that is the outcome they want. That is the transformation. They want to get more sales. But I know that you need to work on your worthiness and your value and your mindset of making that sale. But I'm not going to put that forward. I mean, like, come on. You know, key to an upsell. Oh, Mr. G. That is the key to an upsell. Oh, my. I'm going to need to look you up, because that is the comment of the day. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes. I love you already. But yes, I'm going to get off my soapbox, because you know I can go talking on about stuff, girl.
I love it. I love it. But you're 1,000,000% right, because those are the things that if you are only thinking about, like, okay, this is what I need to do, but you don't know essentially how you need to do it, or I should say your client doesn't know how they need to do it, you can't sell them the how. You can't sell them all of the details. You have to sell them what they want and give them those additional things of what they need, because they don't know, like, just they don't know that. They don't know they need all those details. They just know that they want to enjoy their wedding. They just know that they want pretty pictures. They just know that they want flowers to, like, wow them and their guests. That's what they want. But
and
if you're
do they care? Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, do they even really care? Like, And I think that's the part that I really try to impart on people. I want, and a lot of times I'm like, Chiffon, they didn't even really care about that. I'm like, because that they are selfish. You have to look, and not in a bad way, because at any point in time, we've all been a customer as well. We've all been a client as well, and I want you all to put yourself in those shoes. How were you when you were a client or a customer in whatever situation? I'm talking about even going to buy a handbag, or going to go buy some jeans, or going to go buy a new shirt or earrings or whatever. You were a customer, and at that point in time, I really don't care how you get my pocketbook. I just want you to give me the feeling that I feel when I wear that new Chanel pocketbook or that new Gucci pocketbook. Like, I don't really care how you do it. I just want that feeling. I just want that result. I just want that transformation of me having that. And that's what people have to think about. I was being selfish. You have to think about your clients, customers being selfish and really think of it from that standpoint, because they really don't care. Like you said, like, I don't care about the how. I just really want you to get me to that destination. No one cares about the plane I'm on. I'm really just caring about that destination. I'm about to be going to Miami. I'm a Gulf Shores person, but I don't care about the plane. Like, I don't care how I'm gonna get there. I can take a boat, plane, car. I just want to get there. That's how you have to think about it.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it.
Okay.
So good. Any other good
I think I touched on all of them. Like, because even that sell them, like that one, sell them what they want. I always love saying that, but that wasn't even on my list. But I always love, because that's something people are blown when I say that. And I'm like, I'm serious. If you live by that creed alone, you will do well. You will do well.
Yeah. And those are the things that it seems so counterintuitive to, okay, I'm selling this, so why would I not push that as the forefront of what I'm selling? Because people, that's not really what you're selling.
And I always tell people, it's about Google. Like when I'm Googling something, and you have to think of from a client standpoint, what are they Googling? Literally, what are they asking Siri about? When I think of my business, my clients are asking, like, how do I make more money? How do I get more leads? How do I get more sales? They're not asking, how do I feel more valuable? How do I feel more worthy? Like, how do I work on myself so that I can show up? That's just not what they're Googling. So even if you give that litmus test, what are they? Because it's tough. That's all they're like. They're like, I just need more sales. 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 So that's what you have to think about from that standpoint of what that want is. What do they want? What do they constantly talk about? What do they constantly say? And it will become very apparent. I know we've talked about this before, especially in the service-based market and in the wedding industry. I have to always tell people, if you have clients, go back and survey those clients. Ask those clients, what was the one outcome you were looking for? What was the one outcome that I gave you? Because that can always give an insight into it as well. If you feel like it's not as apparent, that's a good way to get some insight so that you can see, okay, what is that thing that they're really looking for to help with that?
That one's so good. And I always say, go back and, I mean, most likely you have some reviews. Maybe you don't have as many as you want, but you have some. And whether they were unsolicited or you did ask for somebody to write a review, they wrote it. And so if you go back and read what they wrote, they're writing what was most important to them. They're writing about what blew them away, or the one thing that really made a difference in terms of why they chose you instead of someone else. Like, if you're not, and then kind of backpedal into, what is that pain point then? Because is that, for them, the worry about having unreliable vendors? Is that the worry of not being able to enjoy their wedding day, or that they're going to be late and miss whatever it is, or waste money? Like, what are those things that, when you're back up into that, you can figure out, like, okay, so that's what I sold, essentially. That's what they wanted. So how do I then show up that way for this next group, next batch of couples?
Oh, Megan, I love it. Like, I love that, like, full circle, summation, cliff notes of what we talked about. Like, box, here you go. That was the perfect sum up of it. It really was.
You're so sweet. Well, I mean, and those are the things I think, again, you do such a great job of. And I think sometimes people are like, okay, well, maybe my personality's not like Chiffon, or maybe maybe I don't have the right words, or maybe I don't know what I'm, but I think you said it, earlier when you were saying, show up as yourself.
Yes,
Like,
like
how
all,
are you? Like, you have to do lives.
yes.
Some people are like, do I have to do a live, or do I have to do this? You don't have to. Like, no one's saying you have to. Like, if you're better at writing and like not talking extemporaneously, that's okay. Like, you can do that, and you can do it well. You don't have to do this, that, like,
No,
you don't have to do
I tell
TikTok.
people, you do you. Like, I am a talker. I just love talking. So it's so fun because true story, when I write anything, I am saying it first. And that is just me because I'm a talker. And then from there, I will write it because my words just come out better when I talk. I can hear myself.
Yeah.
I hear what I'm saying, but I voice record anything that I'm writing so that I can say it how I want it. And people always say, they're like, this is, and I think it's truly the best comment I can get. Like, when I read your stuff, like, I hear you. And I'm like, because that is part of me. Like, but I do it because I have to talk it out and then write it. And everyone is different. There are some people who are eloquent writers, but they don't necessarily want to show up on camera, and that's fine. But you're showing up in your writing. I just need you all to show up, because that's how you're going to increase your marketing to thus increase your sales. That's all. And it can look different for everyone. I just need you to authentically show up. That's all I ask, because that is the game changer for any type of marketing or sales that you're doing.
I love it. I love it. So good. Yay. And I can't. Tomorrow we're going to talk more.
We are. Okay.
We're going to have a nice little fun time. So now, if they join us on Clubhouse tomorrow morning, they have to join your group. Is that right?
I got to figure this out, how I'm going to do this. Or if I'm just going to do a room, I can just do a room. I don't really care.
So I have a room set up.
So then let's just,
but we can add it to your club.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I can do that. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. Yes. But I will tell you, it is going to be 7 a.m. for me. And I am so glad it is not video, because oh my God.
Because it'll be like this.
I know. Like,
holding your eyeballs open.
That's the same person we saw yesterday.
Yes, nobody looks the same at 7 a.m.
Girl, no. But yes, I'm super excited. I love Clubhouse, so we can kind of carry it, have conversations, really dive deep with it. So I'm super excited about that.
I love it. I love it. And remind people, so if they, obviously in the caption for the video, we'll have all of your tags, but if someone wants to find out more about you, they can find you at Chiffon Myers.
Yes, right? Ma'am. There, I love to play. I think Instagram is kind of the place that I love to play the most. So yeah, come send me a DM, chat, come. I share like pictures of my kids and my husband and all types of stuff. So you can get a look into my world.
They are the cutest. Seriously. Listen, Chiffon gives gold advice, but I like the pictures of her kids.
Yes, no, I do. I share them often. Just got some school pictures, because the oldest, they don't have school pictures. They didn't do school pictures. But the youngest, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. She's like literally sitting there like.
She's literally a mini you. Like, she is like, if you could like take you in like electric.
Oh, yeah.
Totally her. She's so cute. She's just the cutest. So cute. Yes. And then when you follow her, if you go on Chiffon's page, you can scroll down, you can actually see her, like her family Christmas. Okay, first of all, your family Christmas photos were the cutest. Cutest. So cute.
We had so fun, and she was so good. She got them in like 30 minutes. I was so scared, because when you have family pictures, like, are you sure you get us in 30 minutes? And she's like, no, I promise. And they were so good. Like, they came out amazing. We had it's one of our wineries that we love going to. Like, it's one of our favorites. So it was good to have the kids there and everything. And so it was a lot of fun. I know. Those are so cute.
So good. So good. Yay. It's always so good to see you.
I know. We'll be together soon. We'll be together then. Can't wait.
I know. We're like thinking of like some dates for 2022. because I think by then most people will be vaccinated.
Yep.
We'll have better options. We'll be socially distant and follow all the rules.
Well, you know, girl, I can't wait. I can't wait to be around people. I'm just like, yes, I will be there.
Well, people can't wait to be around you. So it's like a mutual thing.
Yes. Well, good. Well, thank you. This was so much fun. If anyone has questions or anything, feel free to shoot me a DM. I'm always around.
I love it. Thank you so much, Chiffon.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you later. Join us tomorrow, Clubhouse, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.
Yes.
Super early. Bring your coffee.
Bye.
See ya. Have a great night.